Hi everyone, my name is Britton Klein, Ad Sales Manager, and welcome to this week's edition of Marketing Minutes by Scuba Diving Industry Magazine.
And hi, I'm William Klein, publisher, and if you're watching this series and you're a scuba-related company and you'd like to get on, reach out to Britton or I. Would love to have you on the show. So, Britton, who do we have with us today?
So today we have our first returning guest, Wayne Brown, CEO of Aggressor, talking about his Make a Difference Challenge program. Wayne, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thanks. Glad to be back with both of you.
Well, thanks for joining us today again, Wayne. Wayne was our first guest, like you said, 29 episodes ago. So it's just been in a couple months. I'm excited to hear about what he's going to talk about today from Wayne.
Absolutely. So, Wayne, just to kind of jump right into things, how did the Challenge Coin program originate, and what sort of business goals do you think it might help Aggressor achieve beyond just guest engagement?
So a little history about the challenge coin itself for anybody that might not know. So challenge coins came about originally in the military, where they were giving them to mostly elite units as showing their membership in these units. And then it evolved into units, passing them around, sharing them with other units they worked with, expanded out to police, firefighter, 911, government, pretty much a lot of major organizations and private companies. And so being prior military, I had been involved in challenge coins while I was in the service. And so I was approached last year by a producer of a new TV series that's coming out later this year called The Mission. And his goal was to take 6 CEOs of companies and have them give back somehow to the community themselves personally, not the company, not write a check, but what can you do as a CEO to give back to people or the community. And so I took that as a good challenge and decided I would put together a team of 5 people, and when we would go down to Belize and build handicap ramps for a couple of families that had mobility issues.
That's
that
cool.
way they kind of were allowed to have the freedom to come and go and the fear of not falling when they do come and go. Sure. And so as part of that planning for that, I thought this would be a great time to introduce a challenge coin for Aggressor, and not to give it out as a membership coin, but as a true challenge for people to do something good for somebody else. So that's how the challenge coin came about. And then we developed a Make a Challenge program around it for our guests to earn their coin by doing something good for somebody else.
Wow.
Wow, that's very cool. Maybe you could share a couple of stories or two that have really moved you with this program, and maybe talk a little bit about how the challenge coin has impacted repeat bookings, referrals, social media, that sort of thing.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, so we put it out to our guests. We're still putting it out. It's a year-long program this year, and we get stories back every week. And it's not something that has to be done next week or next month. It could be something that's done 30 years ago, but you feel like you made a difference in somebody's life, or they told you made a difference, and you submit it to us, and we discuss it around our committee that's approving these. And it's not a real high bar, because everybody kind of has their own idea of how they're helping somebody or making a difference. And we give them a frame certificate, we give them a challenge coin, a nice little letter thanking them, and then we put them on the website. We have a Make a Difference challenge coin page where we post everybody and celebrate them making a difference. Wow. This is one of those programs that we did not put in metrics on, what's the return on this? What are sales? Right. What's the goal here? Was only to just give our customers some way to highlight either something they've done for somebody or a program that they want to come up with. Maybe they want to mow a yard for an elderly person, or take them a meal. Not something that they don't have to go to Belize and build handicap ramps, but just something that's easy for them to be recognized for giving back.
Absolutely. Wow, that's incredible. So, what sort of advice do you think that you could give to other liveaboards, resorts, and dive operators as well, looking to kind of build that same loyalty or recognition program that resonates like this?
Every company that I've had, and I think every company that's out there should have, at least a way to do something for their industry. So typically, we raise money and we help with conservation programs around the world. But in this case, I think every company should also have a program that has nothing to do with how you're trying to build loyalty with your customers or build sales. And so, come up with an idea to help your customer base and your employees just feel good about the work they're doing in the industry, whatever industry that might be, and celebrate everybody's involvement in making a difference for somebody else.
Definitely. Wow, that's great advice.
That's really cool. Is there any particular stories that come to mind of so far the people that you've given the challenge to that were really particularly moving?
We've got some great ones on the website. You go and look, but there's ones. I mentioned one from 30 years ago. There was a guy that was in the broadcast news industry, and he was at an award ceremony, and a person came up to him that he had met 30 years ago. And said, "Hey, I don't know if you remember, but I was down on myself. I was not sure this was cut out for me to be, on mainstream media, network, TV news in front of everybody every night. But you encouraged me and you challenged me to stick with it. And now, 30 years later, I'm a correspondent on Dateline NBC. So pretty interesting. That sometimes you don't realize, until later on, how much of a difference you've made. And then we have people that in this recent storms from last year spent months helping people rebuild, clean up, feed them, house them. So it's little all over the place, which is exactly how we wanted this to come out.
Absolutely.
Our industry is one of really good people. I was at the Long Beach show last week and chatting with Matt Siebert from Dive First Aid, and he was telling me about how, and he wasn't bragging because we were trying to set up a date for him to come on the show, and he says, well, I'm going to be in Hawaii next week, and I reached out to a bunch of the shops in Lahaina that were really affected by that fire, and there are still a lot of shops that don't have supplies, and he was able to get all of his manufacturers to donate AEDs and kits and everything that he's bringing suitcases over for these dive shops to replenish their supplies that all got burned up, of course, in the fire, and they kept saying, well, we can't afford these. He says, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, what do you need? And that's the great kind of people we have in our industry. And I appreciate what you're doing, Wayne, and you're wanting to recognize these champions out there, or people that are doing something different. So hard to believe, not to change tactics, but we're 160 days to the DEMA show.
That's right.
And it's like, oh my gosh, it just comes like a freight train, doesn't it, Britton?
Absolutely. It's getting closer and closer as the weeks go on.
So I know Aggressor has some fantastic programs planned for the show. Do you have any sneak peek previews thus far you can mention, or is that still under top secret wraps?
No, there's always something we do unique there every year. So this year, we do a big dinner for all of our top resellers during DEMA, and it's usually about 60 people there. It's a great way to thank them, for the service and business that they've given us and support over the years. And so this year, I decided we're going to have a very unique award in addition to the dinner for our resellers. I won't tell you exactly what it is or the criteria. It has nothing to do with sales, because that's a very hard nut sometimes for some of the smaller resellers and tour operators to crack. So it's not always about how much you have done with us. It's what you've done for our customers. So this year we've developed a very, very nice award that I just approved the proof this week that'll be shipping out to me, that we're going to give out this year to one of our resellers.
Oh, that's very cool. That's a great program.
That's fantastic.
Well, thanks for coming back onto our show. Thanks for being patient as we've gotten a little tiny bit better over the last 30 episodes. Inching along. And so, Britton, who do we got lined up for Monday?
Yes, so Monday, we're going to have Bill Cole, owner of Sea Experience, and a former colleague of yours, if I'm not mistaken there.
That's true.
I do remember you worked at Pro Dive there for a while.
I did.
so
I was their course
it'd be-
director at one point, and with Alex Brolsky many years ago. So it's going to be like a little family reunion. It'll be fun to
very
chat
cool.
with
Make
Bill.
sure you tune in for that.
So Wayne, thanks again for being on our show. Any last parting comments you'd like to say?
No, I appreciate being able to share the challenge, and hopefully, other businesses in our industry will take it up and develop programs to reward their customers.
Well, there's the
Definitely.
challenge right there to the industry. So if you're listening to this, even if you're a small dive shop, doesn't matter. Take this challenge seriously. We
challenge.
all can do something to give back, and I really appreciate you taking time to share your vision with us, Wayne, today.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. We'll see y'all. Tune in next Monday.